Hey guys, welcome back to LOI Fan TV. We're back again for our Gameweek 18 predictions, and yes, we're halfway through the season. It's crazy with me, myself, and Ross. When I was saying that there, outrageous. The season has flown in, but yeah, I'm joined by Ross is in the Philippines. Ross, how you getting on?
Good, good. Yeah, not too bad now yourself.
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, 6 points clear. We were
Yeah,
could be
sitting
worse.
pretty at the moment, aren't you? Yeah,
Sitting pretty. Yeah. But sure. Look, user top of the bottom half, so we're both top of something.
that's it. On the way back up. Yeah. I was hoping I'm coming back on here now after a win, and a nice win. It's an unfamiliar feeling, really. And the first thing I get is a bit of stick. So yeah, right back down to normality, I suppose.
That's it. Bit of a pep in your step. But I suppose we could start with yourselves then. Yeah, user away at Cork this weekend. Obviously, 3-2 win. At this point, it's just get the 3 points on the board. Don't really care how it happens. And then
Yeah,
obviously Cork, were on the end of a 2-1 defeat to Galway. So, yeah, what to make of this one?
yeah, tough game. Obviously, Cork would be kind of feeling sorry for themselves a little bit. Obviously, the new manager in. Darren Nash. I don't know a huge amount about him, to be honest, but whether they can get some sort of a new manager bounce off him kind of remains to be seen. It kind of feels unlikely a little bit, but I think they were a little bit unlucky in Galway last week. Galway didn't play particularly well as far as I'm aware, and we actually had we asked on Instagram for people to ask a few questions if they wanted to about for the upcoming video, and someone said I think it was Dara Ruddy asked or made a comment about Cork's bad luck continuing. So it does seem like they are on the kind of wrong side of really narrow results, and there isn't been a lot of points this season that they missed out on kind of narrowly. So you do feel for them in that respect. But it kind of when you're at the bottom of the league fighting for points, it always just seems to go against you, just small little things. And I'm just hoping that Shells can get a bit of luck this weekend and start to put a bit of a winning bit of momentum together. Obviously, that'd be 3 games unbeaten, 2 wins on the spin. You'd like to think that can give us a bit of momentum then to head on into the second half of the season.
Yeah, I actually wasn't watching the Shells game on Friday, but I saw John Martin got a hat trick. Talkers,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have predicted that.
Yeah. A little bit of a scrappy. I think was it a perfect. I think it was a perfect hat trick in the end as well, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was. But yeah, I think it's good for him. I think he's kind of the kind of underrated striker between Odebeko and Boyd. Martin's the one that kind of isn't always in the headlines, isn't a big name, but he always puts a shift in for you, and I was delighted to see him get a bit of recognition, and it's kind of obviously you can't drop him after that, and hopefully he can nail down a position in the team now because he was a big part of the run in last season with him and Boyd playing up front in that kind of 4-4-2. So he's been a big player for us. One that's kind of goes under the radar a good bit. So yeah, no, it's delighted for him to get the hat trick. But you can't. Obviously, didn't wasn't the main talking point. Was probably the wonder goal from Owen I think, which you'll touch on later. But it's delighted for Martin to hat trick.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, Shells needed that win, and look, it doesn't matter how it came, they got it. And then Cork, on the other hand, yeah, they'll be a feel aggrieved. But to be fair to them, like, if we're going to look at Cork and positives, like, first of all, I think Jaron Nash is a great appointment. Like, I really believe in him as a manager. Like, he apparently was somebody that
Yeah,
Cork
yeah,
before Tim Clancy, but he was over in Aston Villa and he was like involved with one of their sister clubs. So he's very well regarded over there. I think like kind of having someone that kind of someone that kind of knows the league from afar, that has experience in different leagues. It's always good to see them come back and apply their trade. So and then obviously like Gennaro Dalian's on the score sheet again against Galway. So like look, have a goal scorer there. We thought Rory Keaton was going to be out for a long period of time. That maybe the goals had dried
yeah.
up. Saw Shawnee Maguire came on then in the second half. Don't know how he got on, but it's good to have him back as well. So yeah, look like Cork. I think they feel aggrieved they are what they are, but at the same time, things aren't looking too bad for them. I imagine they'll strengthen in the summer. Can't imagine Jaron Ashford taking that job if that wasn't kind of a given. So yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards a draw with this one, to be honest. Like I just even like from ourselves going down there, like it's always a tough game down in Cork.
Yeah. No, it is.
Like no matter how well you're playing, if there's one goal in it, like they're especially if they're shooting into that shed end, like it's just anything could happen. So and I know Cork fans
Yeah.
still agree with referee decision, but they're due one as we say. So like you wouldn't be surprised even if the shoe was on the other foot next week when we're talking about them. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna go 1-1 here.
Yeah, no, I could definitely see it. It's a good point you made about yourselves going down there and drawing 1-1. Like it is a very difficult place to go, and
Yeah.
you kind of, as from Michelle's point of view, you're hoping that I know the Cork attendance has been down a little bit this season, which is a shame, but you're hoping that maybe the atmosphere is a bit flat. And that probably plays into the hands of the visitors. And so I'm hoping that Chelsea can kind of take advantage of that a little bit and be proper up for it and really, really pick up a massive 3 points again. It was interesting to see Evan Caffrey playing on that left wing back position. Actually, I want to give him a shout out. I think he got 2 assists last weekend, and then playing on that left wing back position, which was interesting to see him kind of cutting inside and stuff. So he's been a real kind of consistent force for Duff's team. I think that was his 100 appearance for Shell as well. So great achievement for him. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go for Shell's just narrowly win. I feel like I'm narrowly going for Shell's every week, but I just think we need to get a bit of momentum going. I'll go for a 2-1 Chelsea.
Yeah, and to be fair, like in this league, like in theory, you could bring a joint second. Not that that'll happen. Everyone probably will drop points, but like it's still reasonably tight. So yeah, picking up a run of form could see your
Yeah,
position drastically change, like if 2 or 3 wins, like as you saw with us now. Yeah, so next up we have Waterford playing host to Drogheda. So yeah, Waterford are on the back of a solid 2-all draw away at Pats. I imagine before the game they would have taken that if you offered it. And then Drogheda on the other hand, with a great 1-0 win at home to Bows. So yeah, Douglas James Taylor back on the score sheet there, and yeah, in second, 6 points off top. What do you make of this one? Kind of two teams in decent enough form.
yeah. It's the kind of the old cliche of like a draw written all over kind of vibe to it. I feel like Waterford definitely have been so impressive in the last couple of weeks, and just from where they were when Keith Long left to where they are now, it's been such an impressive kind of upturn in form. So yeah, they really are just a different proposition altogether. Obviously, kind of a false position in the league right now. I think they're eighth in the league right now, so kind of a false position in terms of how much quality they have on that side. You feel, and then obviously Drogheda. What can you say? You can't get them enough compliments, really. We kind of thought maybe they were dropping off. I think they were down in fifth at one stage, was it last week? And you thought maybe that's the top to start, kind of dropping off a little bit then, but a big win back up into second position. So yeah, you just can't really fault Kevin Doherty on that side. You just wonder how far they can go. Obviously, I've touched on the style of play before. It is quite limiting. Will they lose a couple? Maybe Warren Davis has interest from abroad. You'd imagine. I don't know if I think Douglas James Taylor's meant to go back as well. So it'd be interesting to see how they're kind of shaping up going into that final end of the season. Obviously, Europe is it's a factor for them as well. How well will they contend with that? But yeah, I think this one for me probably is that old cliche of a draw written all over. But it could really go either way.
Yeah, it's one of these games, isn't it? Like both teams will kind of fancy this going into it. Yeah, that's kind of such up a draw that like the show seems to keep on going on, and obviously now with
Yeah,
Europe coming to the equation, you imagine our squad will be a little stretch, especially with the likes of Douglas James Taylor going back across the water, and you just don't know what happens with their high performers. Do clubs from the lower leagues come in from England? It remains to be seen. But yeah, and then Waterford on the other hand, their tails will be up too. Obviously going down to Pats and not losing the game is ideal for them, especially after their loss to Shamrock Rovers the previous week. So they're kind of back
yeah.
there like vein of form. So yeah, you're kind of right with you're inclined to lean towards a draw. I'd probably, I might say there's goals. I might go for a 2-all draw.
Yeah. I think I'll go 1-1 just to mix it up a bit, but yeah, it's hard to separate them. Just to touch on Drogheda then quickly, actually, I think I saw that, if I'm not mistaken, Franz Perot is a free agent. I think he might have been released by that Bosnian side he signed for. So would that be one that you think a return to the League of Ireland being on the cards for him? And I saw Drogheda fans being kind of mixed on it online. Obviously, he played a big part in their cup win last year, but would he kind of they kind of upturn the apple cart and kind of that big personality coming back in? Are they kind of have they moved past that? They obviously have Thomas Alua, Warren Davis, Douglas James Taylor, a number of options up there. Do they need him to come back, or will a different team look at him maybe?
It's an interesting one. Yeah, well, Douglas James Taylor goes. I imagine there's a place for him, but from what I remember
Yeah,
from last season, like he really thought highly of himself, and it almost felt like at the time he felt that maybe the league he was too good for the league. So
yeah.
I imagine I don't know. I just can't really see a world in which he comes back. Like, can you?
I could maybe see him going to like a Bose or something weirdly enough.
Yeah. I can't see him going back to Drogheda. But then again, you never know. He might think going there, sign a short term deal, score a few goals in Europe, getting removed. Like maybe that might be
Yeah,
the top. But yeah, that'd be a solid signing for Drogheda. But I just remember like close
yeah.
friends in the league, and he kind of turned his nose up at a good few of them. So it's just mad. It comes to show you like the grass isn't always greener.
That's it. No, exactly. Yeah, I think Bowes will definitely. I think they had an interest previously, and obviously, I think Musée might be out injured again. Whelan is the only other fit striker, so it makes sense for him to be in the market for a striker. But yeah, an interesting one to keep an eye on potentially. Hans Perot, how his developments go the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, 100%. No, I couldn't agree more. Yeah, so moving on then to Dalymount Park. Bohemians are playing host to Derry City. We just touched on Bows kind of there, draw to beating them 1-0. And then Shamrock Rovers went up to the Brannywell and kind of nicked it up there. So I imagine kind of both teams would be kind of itching to kind of get back on on the win board here. Um,
Yeah,
it's a bit of a mad one to predict. What do you think?
tough to predict for sure. Two sides that will no doubt be kind of challenging for Europe at the very least this season. Yeah, I don't know why this. I don't even know if this is true or not, but I feel like Derry have a good record at Dalymount. On this, when I think of the fixture, I just think of Michael Duffy scoring
Yeah,
the free kick last year, was it in the cup semi final and
yeah.
or the cup game, whenever it was. And I just feel like Derry always do well at Dalymount, and I think Bows do well up there. And for some reason, I don't know what it is, but that might be completely wrong. But just off the top of my head, but yeah, it's a very tough game. Bowes didn't play too badly against Drogheda. To be fair, they had a number of chances and could probably feel a little bit hard done. But I think there was a couple. It was a refereeing decision. I can't remember off the top of my head. It was a refereeing decision that went against them at one stage. But they definitely had a good few chances, and I think it was a penalty. To be fair, that the Sean Graham foul, I think it was a penalty. So I don't kind of too many complaints on that. But yeah, I don't think they performed too badly, so they're keeping the performances level high. And Derry as well. You probably saw the game more than me, but just based off the highlights and off a lot of fan sentiment, I didn't think they performed too badly against Rovers. It could have been a different result on a different day.
Yeah, it's just one of these things. Like, kind of our tails are up, so we kind of like when we equalized. There was only kind of one team. No, like Derry were in the game too, but like it's kind of when we
Yeah, I think Duffy had a chance at 1-1, like a
yeah,
half chance of blocks in the box and stuff like.
well, Adam Matthews is a great block. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's just one of these things where it's in a rich run of form. I wouldn't read into it too much from a Derry perspective. It's just like we're kind of we're really hitting our levels now. So it's just if that was a few weeks ago, that game we wouldn't have won that game just based off
Yeah,
confidence levels and so on. So yeah, look, Derry are a very good team, they kind of like you've always said it. Like you look at the strength and depth they have, and like Gavin White and Liam Boyce and Michael Duffy kind of leading the line for them. Like it speaks for
yeah,
itself. So like
hundred percent.
I say the overriding feeling of beating them is relief because like they will win a lot more games. At the end of the season, you just always want to build a bit of a gap to kind of stop them from going on a run. So
Yeah,
what Pats did last season, but yeah, this is kind of a weird one. As I said, I don't really know how to call it. Like like Derry do have a good record, they do, as far as I'm aware. Now that let us know in the comments, lads, as far as like records go in that fixture. But for some reason, I just have this little feeling like I think Bows have a good record up in Derry as well. I think it's what this is one of
yeah, yeah.
the things like they always beat each other away from home. But here, yeah, I don't know. You know what? I might just go for Derry to get back to winning ways. I might go 1-0 Derry. I just have a feeling they'll really be hurting after last week. As we touched off, they really did actually apply themselves very well. Then they were unlucky to lose. So
Yeah,
gonna go one.
yeah. Derry are just one of those teams that I just think from one week to the next, you just don't know what you're going to get from them, though. Like, they do have the ability to kind of just not show up at all. Like, I think in Drogheda the week before, they played poorly, they nicked it, and they equalised, but didn't perform well at all. So, just for the sake of a bit of interesting content, I'll go for Bows to nick at 1-0. But yeah, this game could really, really go either way. And it'll probably be a moment of magic. And both sides have players capable of producing a moment. So I'll go for both to make it 1-0 home advantage. But yeah, could easily go either way.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that sentiment.
Sorry, just before we move on to the next game, actually, as well, we touched on Drogheda already, touched on Bowes there. I have to touch on the manager spat at the end of the game. Did you hear about that?
What was it? It was like Kevin Doherty was looking for a job. It was what Alan
Yeah,
Reynolds
pretty
said.
much. Yeah, yeah.
Proper like proper like Ted on the phone to Rugged Island stuff, isn't it? Like it was.
Yeah, it
I was
is, isn't
reading
it?
it and I was
Yeah,
like, "What the hell's going on here?" Like that's such a mad thing to say.
it seems sound like a very petty kind of argument, didn't it? And it sounded like, I don't know, it was like, it comes across very insecure about his job. You think after the way the last couple of weeks have gone, they'd be kind of on off the crest of a wave and he'd be flying, but he has that bit of insecurity around his job, doesn't he, really, to be making comments like that?
Yeah, well, Rennie, like it's funny. We give Duffer a stick on this for him and his relationship with managers. But Rennie, like he has his Barney with his fair few. Like what was it? Him
Ah,
and
yeah,
don't get along either. Well, that's no surprise. It's like put
yeah,
mix and salt and pepper those two.
yeah,
But like yeah, I don't know. I say there is the chip on the shoulder, especially now with the rich round of form. He doesn't strike me as somebody that forgets comments
mm,
and so on. It almost gets him up in the morning. So yeah, it's not. It doesn't surprise me. It's just halfway going after Kevin Doherty, like just like literally,
yeah,
like the man, like you can imagine him like doing charity work on his days off. Like he's just the most least conflict
yeah,
fella in the League of Ireland. Oh,
yeah.
Adam, isn't it?
No, it's a gas one. It's a gas one. And yeah, it seemed like something nothing. But it's just funny that was kicking off after the game. I wonder if it was a different result, but it would have been kind of quiet enough, and then he gets out there with his nose clean.
Oh, yeah, 100%. No, I don't think we would have heard about it if Bowes got something out of that game. But sure, look,
No, no way.
doesn't it?
It's always the way. Yeah, yeah. No, so I'll probably touch on that as a funny one during the week.
Yeah, yeah. So I suppose I'm moving on next to Showground. Sligo Rovers are playing host to St. Pat's. You can kind of talk on Sligo there like a narrow defeat away to Shells. They probably would feel maybe a little bit hard done by kind of going out there and like 3-2. It sounds like they played well. And then Pats on the other hand,
Yeah.
the show goes on with Pats like a draw at home to Waterford. Like I can't imagine they'd be happy with that. Yeah, fifth versus tenth. If you would have said that to me at the start of the season, I probably would have looked you funny. But that's just
Yeah,
kind
it's
of
mad, isn't it? Yeah, yeah. Yes, Ligo, yeah, just touching on them, obviously playing at Shells, and they did perform well. There's obviously like a little bit of maybe not, I don't want to say naivety to them in terms of the goals they concede and things like that, and kind of just switching off at the back and kind of I think it was the first goal John Martin just snuck in behind Mahon and Hutchinson, who were both good players, but just kind of switched off and just can't be affording to do that really when you're trying to grind out results and trying to grind out points. So, definitely, I think it's a really tough one to call. That Sligo Cork kind of bottom two. It's really, really difficult to call it. I kind of like to see. I don't want to see either of them go down in a way. Do you know what I mean? And I do like Sligo. So yeah, it is a shame that they're in this kind of position and there's no real kind of chance of catching eighth at all, really. Um, so I think yeah, if they can, I think they can cause Pats a lot of problems here. Obviously, they have a lot of really, really talented players, and the kind of man at the moment we have to touch on him is Owen Elding right now. That goal is, I think he can kind of write off goal of the month conversations. I think he can even write off goal of the season conversations and start having postcast conversations about that goal. To be honest,
Yeah, yeah, some goal. It was some goal, wasn't it? So one of those like as soon as he left his foot, you knew it was in. Like he's a really bright future. Like I saw Georgie Kelly kind of touched off him, kind of being one to watch a few weeks back, and he really is. And I saw Sheffield Wednesday were being linked to him. I don't know if you saw that on Twitter.
yeah, yeah,
So I can
yeah,
imagine it's gonna be one of those like him and Cotlow Sullivan will probably might secure moves in the summer as well. Like so like yeah like the league's really producing young outstanding talent and as you said it'd be terrible to see Sligo. I like Sligo and Cork are two great clubs and to kind of see one of them go is a real shame.
yeah,
But I suppose that's just the nature of
mm,
the beast. But
yeah,
yeah, here will be a tough one. Like to be honest, like with the way Pats are playing, I can imagine Sligo being up for this, and I just can't imagine. I just don't like when I think of Pats. I just maybe I'm just biased because I'm a Rovers fan or you're a Shells fan, but I just don't
yeah.
see positives. Do you like where how can we be positive about Pats? What can we say good about them?
I think I could say Mason Media scoring twice, positive
Yeah,
from last week, maybe. Chris Forrester, I think it seemed like they rushed him back. Obviously, he started the game, he came off at the 57 minutes, so be interested to see if he's fit and available for this. I highly doubt it. So, yeah, when you're looking for positives, like I think Kenny's kind of losing the head a bit in the media as well, in bits and pieces. There's just a lot of question marks surrounding them, and I don't know if I want to call it this early and say this strongly because they were preseason favourites for the title, but I don't think they're in the title race. I think you can rule them out. Like, is it too early to say that?
and our Shells not in it either.
I think Shells are more likely to get back into the mix than Pats.
They're on the same points as Pats. You know what I mean?
Yeah, get back into it. Like I think Barrett and Boyd coming back will make such a difference to Shells, whereas Pats are kind of like thereabouts at their squad.
Yeah,
Obviously, there's a few injuries and Ramal Palmer and stuff and bits and pieces. I think he's out for the season actually.
I'm kind of wary of Pats. Like even though like I predict them to win the league, and like yeah, I've been proven wrong so far. I'm looking at them now. Am I saying they're gone? Do I think they'll win it? No. Do I think they're out of the title race? No. Like I don't know. I just can kind of see them
Mm.
winning 6 or 7 games, kind of like what they did last year, and bring themselves in mid table.
Yeah.
A few points from the top. So it's just those things with Pats. I just can't rule them out because of how many good players they have. And like I've seen some Pats fans on Twitter saying James Brown, the right back off Ross County, just been released, and he like a really good player in the league when he's with Drogheda, and like,
Was
they're
that? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
riches
knew it.
right
Yeah,
back.
yeah. Good play.
So they get him in, that'd be a good addition. And Europe, like as I said, like Europe and like it changed our fortunes last year. Like we were doing pants in the league, and a good European run really does. And same with Pats, like they got to the playoff round, they kind of turned
Yeah.
towards them. So I don't know. I think there's a lot of football to be played. But do I think they'll win it? Probably not. But you never know. A real politician's answer for you there.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
but yeah, here I suppose I don't think they'll get back to winning ways this weekend. I don't know. I just don't feel it in my waters, to be honest with you.
No.
I'm gonna be boring. I'm gonna go for another draw. I'm just full of them this week. I'm gonna go for a 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw. Yeah, I think there'd be definitely be goals in this one. I can see both sides being on the score sheet. I see actually the keeper Anand got called up by Ghana. Actually, did you see that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a great one. Yeah, yeah. No, it's
Yeah.
fantastic for the league, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's great to see. Great to see. He probably won't be starting, right? But no, it's great to see him get called up. Another kind of player from the league getting called up is fantastic. And I'm not sure if he misses games now, right? Does he? Or sorry, is his Honan miss games?
No, because he's the international break now. Like the next game will be
Oh,
the 13th of June. So I imagine all those international take place during that period.
during that period, yeah, yeah, yeah. So he'll be fine. But yeah, no, I think, yeah, I think I could see Sligo winning this. I just have a funny feeling, and that would really, really ramp the pressure on Kenny and on Pats generally. So, I'm gonna go for Sligo to do it. I'm gonna go for 3-2. Plenty of goals. I just think, yeah, I think it could be a good watch. That could be the game to watch this week if you want to see a few goals. So yeah, go for Sligo to nick it. But yeah, tough game.
That'd be so much. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be outrageous if that happened. But yeah, I suppose finally moving to Tala. The leadership
Yeah,
members are playing host to Galway United now. Kind of, I'm glad we didn't touch off this until now. But and to be fair, you've touched off on Twitter. But Aaron McEneff celebration up in Derry. Jeez,
yeah.
fair play to him.
Go on. What do you think? It's a very brave man, isn't he?
I'm just, you know what it is? Like, I get it if, like, if it was like a player that went to there and left, but he's from Derry. Like when it's all
Yeah,
done and the boots are hung up, like he's going home to Derry. You know what I mean? It's a fair.
yeah.
It's like Trent.
Like,
We like Trent scoring for Real Madrid next season. I'm doing a lap of Anfield.
yeah, yeah. Could you
Really
imagine
like
James
that.
McKean scoring against Derry or something like
Yeah,
doing that?
yeah,
Like you
yeah.
could never imagine it. Like they're proud people. Like and yeah, it just it shocked me. Like because to be fair, the point I made was like it wasn't necessary. I was asking the question how people felt about it because I don't like it when players don't celebrate against their former clubs, but like to celebrate with like your ears cut to run the length of the sideline. Oh, get up against like it's a different type. It's not like a knee slide or a little fist pump or something. It's proper like in your hometown. I just thought it was crazy, but respect, respect.
Yeah, 'cause I remember to be fair, he loves scoring against them. Like even when he first signed for us,
Mm.
and like in 20 was it 2019 we got him. Like he scored against them and he was giving it the big one to like he loves Rovers. And I think like when like it won't be the Derry lad. He doesn't look at himself that way. I think he had a chance to go back to Derry actually before we re-signed him, and he chose us. And even with his brother,
Yeah,
so yeah, like I think it's definitely
yeah, yeah,
to us, and maybe roots are set down in Dublin a bit now, with his young family that he has. But yeah, it was a mad one. It was a mad one. Like one thing celebrate, as you said, one thing celebrating and giving a bit to the crowd, but one thing proper, like that's proper Adebayor against Arsenal,
yeah.
isn't it?
It was, wasn't it? Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, great result up in there. As I said, I would have bit your hand off for a draw before the game, and like even looking at the live, I didn't get to watch myself. But I was looking at the live score and I saw one. And I was like, if you just get a goal here,
yeah.
we'll take the draw. And then
Plenty of character. Like was it 65 minutes, 1-0 down? Like
yeah,
you showed a lot to get back into it. Like
yeah, Michael Noon, and then another goal for him. 71 minutes in now. A tap in by all means, but still has to be in there.
yeah, striker's goal.
That's it, and he's there. To be fair to him, and then yeah, you would have taken your draw, but yeah, we went on a won a happy days. 6 points clear now, superior goal difference to Drogheda, and as I said, like Drogheda was another 2 points from Drogheda to third, and you can't imagine Drogheda will be there in 10 games time. So you never know, but like yeah,
No, yeah,
realistically, it's probably an 8 point lead, like minus Drogheda. So looking really well going into Europe. And even like I was seeing with the Europa Conference League's first round draw, like this is a crazy stat. We're the highest seeded team in the whole first round. Isn't that mad? Like
yeah.
I think our coefficient 17.1.
That's crazy, isn't it? Yeah,
So
yeah.
like
That's
like
mad.
and I saw Bradley was on Premier Sport last night for the Chelsea Betis game, and he was saying like he wants to get to the group stages again. And to be fair, like it sounds mad at face value, but like when you think about the coefficient, like we're going to be seeded probably for all four of the rounds. Why not minus an Imar draw? So I think that
Yeah,
breathing place in the league will give us an opportunity to kind of
yeah.
slow.
No, more than capable.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%. You know, they have a great chance, and obviously the addition of John McGovern as well to kind of strengthen that front line as well will have been a kind of added bonus to Shamrock Rovers. Obviously, he can play from I think it's the 1st of July, so he won't be available this weekend. But another good addition to have in the side, and just adds to that kind of front line options, and just yeah, it feels like a foregone conclusion the league already, unfortunately, which is the sad side of affairs, but it feels like the case, and it would take the biggest bottle job in League of Ireland history to throw it away from here. You feel?
yeah, it would, wouldn't it? John McGovern's a great signing. Someone who has been linked in the like they're saying it's 6 figures potentially, but obviously no one's confirmed that. But
Mm.
yeah, it seems it kind of reminds me of like Johnny Kenny, kind of the build of him and kind of how he's a bit of a poacher, but he kind of has like
Yeah,
Rory Gaffney element to his game. Brad was even saying he was like, we don't have poachers in the team. We want you to do a bit of everything. So I think he'll suit us. Now as far as how he gets into the team, I don't know. Like Michael Noonan, like could he play him with Noonan? Like Ukraine Burke there as well, Danny Mandreu coming back into the side. So look, there's options, which is great.
yeah,
But yeah, it's a great signing, and Bradley said we might add one or two more. So yeah, strength and depth. You always love to see it. But then obviously Galway on the other hand, yeah, look a good win at home to Cork. Moses Dias on the score sheet again. Yeah, you have to look at him this summer. Like we're talking about like players like Elding and O'Sullivan, potentially Honahan moving on. Like you have to look at Moses Dyer as being somebody that will garner interest, not just in the league but from across the water too.
yeah. No, 100%. You'd imagine so, and I think it's crucial that Galway can't keep a hold of them. And I think they're not playing well. I think it was it 5 losses in a row before that game. It could have been, and I don't think they performed too well. A lot of fans kind of saying they played poor against Cork, like, and they kind of got away with it. And it's the Colin McCormick winner. It was so important for a bit of confidence to get back in the win column. It's so important for them, but they've really slipped off performance wise in the last little week. And this is if you want to put the wife and kids on it, it's as safe as bet as it gets for a home win here. It's just how many I think. So I'll be shocked if it's anything else, but I'll go for 3-0 Shamrock Rovers here. I just can't see anything else in the way Galway are playing, the way Rovers are playing, the momentum. Yeah, standard, easy. No jeopardy whatsoever.
Well, I'm not biting that. Like, come on, I'm not getting into that because that'll be you're hoping for us to drop points now and we have a clanger say something like that. No, I don't know. Galway, I'm not just even playing the safe card here. Like Galway are one of those teams. It doesn't matter how good or how bad they're playing. They have Patrick Hickey up top and if Moses Dyer playing off them. So that only takes one ball for them to get a goal. So they're just one of these.
All right, all
They're
right.
like, but anyway, at home, yeah, you'd fancy us, wouldn't you? I don't think it'd be as convinced as 3-0, but
Ah, yeah.
I'm gonna go. I'll go. I'll go for 2-1. I think it's gonna be a tighter game than we think. 2-1 Rovers.
Yeah, nice. I like that. I like that. Yeah, yeah. No, standard form. I'd say standard home win in there. Like it should be very, very straightforward.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, guys, there we have it. Game week 18 predictions. Myself and Ross were saying before the video, we're gonna try to do a half team this season for you guys. So potentially get that out over the international break as well as some Ireland content too. So yeah, we'll keep you guys topped up with videos for the foreseeable. So yeah, Ross, thanks very much.
Lovely stuff. Thanks, Billy Luke. Thanks, many guys.
One thing, guys, as well, leave a like if you're new, subscribe. Let's try to get to 20 likes this week. And yeah, catch you guys again. Cheers.